Okay, so today I'm going to do another exciting mobile stream, and this time I actually have to use Wi-Fi because that's one thing I didn't realize or is sort of an oversight or difficulty is that if my battery is low on here or if I try to go for a long period of time, I'm going to have to charge it. But then if I'm charging it, I can't use that Ethernet adapter. So that's something weird about some modern, even like really expensive things is like they don't have headphone jacks anymore. Like there's no headphone jack in an iPhone. You can pay $1,000, $1,500 for an iPhone 16. There's no headphone jack. So not only is there no headphone jack, but in order to use one, I mean obviously I'm using a Bluetooth headphone anyway, but that's besides the point. In order to use one, you might have to use an adapter into like a USB-C into a headphone, kind of a adapter or something like that, right? So and then the problem with that is it takes up the slot that you would otherwise be using to charge it or to use something else, right? Like the Ethernet. So it's not so much the issue of needing that, it's the fact that there's only one port on the whole phone, right, for one purpose. So if I want to do two things at once, okay, I have the Ethernet thing and I want to charge it, I can't do it. Or you need like some external secondary thing. So the same thing is true with one of my laptops. Like it had no, I got sort of baited, but I guess I didn't research it well enough. It was a pretty good value one that I got like in 2020. It was like a gaming laptop. It's like the Asus Zephyrus G14, and it was like 1,000 something, and it was pretty good, and it's nice and compact, right? And I used that even like when I came back to first start streaming again. The problem is that um, you end up in a situation where it has no Ethernet on it, number one. And so I was surprised by that and kind of annoyed. So you need an Ethernet adapter. But then not only does it need that, so that takes up one of the USB slots right there, guaranteed if you want an Ethernet. But then it doesn't have, it only has two Ethernet ports overall, or I mean USB ports overall. So one of them is going to be constantly held by the Ethernet. So now you only have one free USB port ever at all times. And so that allows you to realize that um, you know what I mean? Like it makes it very difficult. Then if you're doing like multiple things, like you have a streaming setup, a capture card, or a mouse, a keyboard, like you're not gonna have enough for that. So then, oh, you need like a USB splitter for it. It's a very odd thing. So here, let's just try to. So we might have some crashes happen because apparently even Wi-Fi can't always handle this, which is annoying. But it seems to start off okay, and then once you start doing something, it'll crash, or it's just kind of random. The overall mobile streaming experience isn't bad, I wouldn't say, but it's just that there's too many crashes. I don't know if that's some iPhone, Apple issue or what, because it can't really be the internet well, when I tried to stream on the mobile itself, on the mobile data itself, then it would definitely be an issue because you have, that was definitely not good enough. In fact, I had those pictures like my internet speed test. So like on the mobile data, it's like 4 megabytes per second or whatever megabits. I think it's considered with that, but like so four per second versus like 1,000 on Wi-Fi versus surprisingly about 1,000 on hardwired too. But I guess it's maybe just more consistent and stable and won't have the drops. But the Wi-Fi is actually pretty much as good as that. So we got baited by one finally, like a clickbait type title. The one that you would think of that way is the Last War Z thing, which where even is that? I might have deleted it. 'Cause I was doing it like, oh, I'll do it till I die. But that one actually wasn't clickbait. Like, whatever. I'm not saying it's that good, although it was okay. But the Last War Z or whatever it was called, that you always see those mobile ads for, right? And then you see like, oh, it's a fake game or whatever, where there's like the little power ups and you're moving left to right and you're kind of shooting stuff in the lanes, right? That was actually pretty true to the ad, at least how it starts. Maybe over time it starts to become like a business model, microtransaction bait thing, but at least the core gameplay was true to that. The one that I did get baited by is this one. the Whiteout Survival where the ads sort of crank me up. For some reason, I've had to do those numerous times. Like it'll be this pop-up ad for like other things where you see, okay, it's Whiteout Survival, and then you're going around with an axe and you're like auto attacking these bears and stuff, and they just immediately dematerialize and become pieces of meat, and it's like, is that even part of the game or what? Like, so it seems like it was a bait, right, where that actually wasn't something that was meant to happen. And Duolingo gives you these annoying notifications that's trying to be all cute. Even if you try to remove it, it'll say, uh, removing Duolingo, you can't hide from Duolingo. Yeah, this one I seem to actually get baited by. It's a little bit unfortunate because I just want that mini game where it doesn't actually seem that bad mechanically, like a survival or whatever, but the problem with these kind of games is they'll take advantage of the time aspect where like you'll have to wait for timers, right? And then you have to pay money to um you have to pay real money to do that, to speed it up and skip it and stuff. So I won't even necessarily say it's bad, but I'll say that it's deceptive. Like I was even looking that up and I don't know why. Ads versus gameplay. Make yourself a favor and play Frostpunk, which is exactly what I brought up when I first looked at this. It seems similar. Lumber One, Little Farm Story, like that. Even what people were talking about though was something different. Like I want that specifically. It just intrigues me how they would bait you like that though. Oh my god, fuck. So here you have um Whiteout Survival and killing, like the killing of the bears. I don't know why that seems so. I had to go kill polar bears, and as I did, it was stacking meat. The ad is nothing like the game. You would assume like, oh, it's some, you could be baited for a very long time by that. You would think like, oh, it's some mini game that you're gonna eventually unlock, or you'll get to some gameplay like that later, which maybe is even true. But then you would have to play it for a long period of time, and then like, oh, you don't want to look it up because you don't want to spoil something, and then you end up doing it for like 100 hours and realize, oh, that's not even in there. Went to the cookhouse, served it. No, I never got past the part where you just kill the bears. But get to the game is nothing like that. How do I even do a mission like I saw in the ad? Exactly why I downloaded the game, so these ads are at least pretty good. Which you would think, if the game is at least remotely successful, why even do that, right? Like, it doesn't seem like a bad game. It has some, sort of basic survival mechanics and stuff. So why would you either not change that ad campaign or just make a mini game in the game like that so you can claim that it's not false advertising? It got me too. 6 months into the game, you're getting baited pretty hard. I don't feel bad knowing it's not me. The ad was fun. They double down on it. You go to purchase the game from the ad. Wait, but it's not even, it's free though. And the preview is the game ad screenshots. They used to be honest there at least. I prefer the game and ad gameplay, like where the ad is better than the game. Deceptive business tactics are very effective. I don't get why it has to be deceptive though. I just wanted to brain rot and sell my meat. Who can we get to code? That is so ridiculous. It just feels so. I can understand early on, like, okay, they'll make that as like a cool little demo, and then but the game is something else. But I don't know. Over time, if it really is successful, why not do that? So, so yeah, the last Z thing at least passes the clickbait test, right? So on a scale of 1 to 5, where 1 is the worst clickbait and 5 is the best, like where it actually lives up to it. I'll give it like a 4 just based on my first impression that it is actually like the ads, right? It isn't fake. And, sure, there'll be microtransaction BS, but at least it lives up to the core gameplay immediately of what it shows. Whereas this other one, Whiteout Survival, doesn't do that. It's not like it gets a one because unless there's something like that later. Oh, here we go. My Perfect Hotel, Pizza Ready, Office Fever, Little Farm Store offer gameplay similar to the misleading ads of games like Whiteout Survival, which focus on quick gathering and leveling up mechanics. These are often presented as mini games within the larger game, standalone titles, avoid the longer wait times for a direct experience. And even if it is a mini game, it's like, okay, you'll play for 10 hours, then you'll get the one mini game, and then you'll. Yeah, this is nothing like, even visually, it's nothing like it, unless, again, you get this mechanic later. This is like. This is not what you're looking at. You're looking at like the base and the hub and stuff. There might be certain, again, mechanics that look like that, but we all know the. I love how openly and blatantly people are saying this. Looking for the same because I love these type of games. Travesty Company will conceive an amazing playable concept demo and make trash of the actual product. Well, why do you think that is? It's because of the business model, right, that they have incentives to do, but they can still do it there anyway. I know it exists. Maybe there is a mini game like that. I was actually going into it with a relatively positive attitude too, because I wasn't. What is this? Polybuzz. I don't remember downloading this. What is this? What? Oh, I think maybe I was trying to toy around with that as like you'll talk to the AI or something and try to create these little role play stories. Of course, safe for work stuff, but we can kind of test it. And then Arc, I don't even necessarily want to do, but imagine I'm getting spoiled in Arc for, because like people question that, like, oh, you're worried about spoilers and stuff, but sometimes it's like not the way that people think, not so much in terms of the story or like a major character death or something like that. It's more like for spoilers for me, it's like any little mechanic or, whatever, like your first time seeing a T-Rex or some mechanical thing or seeing this cool item or weapon or area. Everything to me is a spoiler that way. Like I want everything to be fresh and kind of exciting because that's a big part of the, sense of discovery. So let's actually try to do a little extended session here where I actually do something. The only thing that takes me out of it is the crashes that we've had constantly, which even on Wi-Fi and stuff. So I like to do this like top five thing where whatever's in the top five, I have to get just because. But no, I don't completely hate that. Why don't survival mechanic like the way it works in reality? I just don't like the bait. I don't like these match ones though, to be fair. So what happens is, okay, there's like this, speaking of this block thing, which works more like a Tetris type of thing, it seems like. There was this genre of things that I saw when I was younger, right? That you would sometimes play, and it's like you have this little, oh, I think it's called like breakout games. Like you have this little platform at the bottom that you control, and it moves back and forth, and it has a little ball in it, and you keep hitting the ball back up to the top where there's like these blocks at the top that you're destroying, right? And I could never remember figure out the name of that kind of game.